see a light flowing down from the heavenlies, and we are here reaching out. The Word of God is all we need. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. So God, please speak to me, reaching the next generation.
Well, greetings and welcome to Reaching the Next Generation. I'm Bishop Jerome Jones, and I count it an honor and a privilege, first of all, to be able to share right here another broadcast in the name of the Lord. Well, we're going to be talking today about the mission and ministry to Africa. That's right. We're going to be sharing with you today what God is doing in this mission and ministry to Liberia, West Africa. Well, we're going to try to bring on our guests today, and we're going to be trying to do that in a moment. I kind of thought I had that already set up, but apparently I didn't. So we're going to try to take a moment right here in the midst of the broadcast and send the link to Africa. And that way we'll be able to get Evangelist Mark on. Let me just ask him to send me his email. Usually this is already set before I get to this point, but as we know that we do have some deficiencies sometimes, and we don't always get it. So we're going to get him on as soon as he can sign on to the link, and hopefully we'll be able to go through the remaining of the broadcast. I have him on our cell phone, and I want to bring him on our live feed stream here on today's broadcast. Saints of God, those of you that have been and are following the broadcast, we have a lot to report about what God has done and what God is yet doing. And I am so thankful that we have this opportunity to come this way again, because it is just a privilege to be able to serve in the body of Christ. And before I start, while I'm trying to work this out, I do want to say that the ministry is in revival in Jamaica, and the word of the Lord was just really has been flowing. And the Apostle Mike and Apostle Mary Banks and Apostle Kareem Flowers and a host of other bishops and pastors are there in Jamaica, and God is speaking to the body. And you know, that's one of the good things about it, that it doesn't matter where you are. If you got internet connection, you can log in and hear the message. And I want to encourage you to follow the revival. You can log in nightly, and there's 2 more nights of it, and we encourage you to attend. I'm going to try to send him this again. He obviously didn't get that understanding that I actually want his email address so that I could send him this link and he can join. I have to resend the link. So he says he's seeing the link. Um, so if he's seeing the link, this is some of the things we have to really be patient with the those in other countries, because they don't quite all fully understand the technology to the degree that we understand it, uh, because he says, I have he's asked me what else do I need to send him, but but at the same time, he's telling me that he is seeing the link. I am seeing log in. Well, that's what you need to click, log in. Because soon as he clicks on that, we're going to be able to bring him on. But I just tell you, God is just good. He is doing all that he says, and we are privileged to be a part of what God is doing. You know, we're really privileged to be a part of what God is doing. I'm going to call him on the phone and see what his issues are, so that we can speed this up. So you will, cause hello, Mark. Do you have the link right there?
No, got a link, but tell me to log in.
Okay, okay. Can you click on the login?
Okay, let me try.
Say that.
I'm going to log in, then it said it's sending me a password.
It's sending you one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you get that, you should be.
They're sending me a password after they log into my email that I can use.
Okay. So, well, when you get that, then you go ahead and log in.
Okay, let me try.
All right. Because I'm already into the room and I've already gone. We're already live, and so get that password. But and that's the same process every time.
Okay, so let me try. Let me try that quick.
Okay, go ahead. And those of you that are watching the broadcast now, we are going to be giving you a ministry update on the mission to Liberia, West Africa. And we're going to chronicleize the start of the ministry there. And we're also going to be sharing with you how this all started and what has taken place months before we went to the continent of Africa, as well as what has been done and since we left the continent, and as well as what is being done right now and where we're headed. So we want you to stay tuned to this broadcast, because there's a lot of things that has taken place that we have not discussed, and we just want to really update you on the things that is taking place in the country, or in the country of Liberia. But Liberia is one nation on the continent of Africa, and it is the hub that we are going to use to reach out from that nation to the surrounding nations in Africa, on the continent of Africa. You know, because when we say Africa, many times people think that Africa is a country, but Africa is a continent that have 54 countries, and we're going to be reaching around that continent with the gospel of Christ and with the love of Jesus Christ as well. And so we want to encourage you to follow this broadcast. Some of you have been getting the broadcast, and you've been seeing what has been done in different segments. And today we want to give you a full update as much as we can as to what is being done and where we're headed, where God is taking the vision, where God is taking the ministry as we reach out into the nations of the world. Okay, let me go back. Mark, do you have your password? Okay, so whenever you get logged in, it should show up on my screen, and when it shows up on my screen, I'm going to bring you into the set, and then we'll start there. Okay, so whenever it shows up on my screen, it ought to
Asking me to close down this video and
say that again.
they want me to let's stop the messenger, then I can try from there because that's what it said.
That's right. Yeah, you have to close this down. So we're gonna have to go off, and then you sign in, and then I'll bring you in over here. So let's close this down. So now we're going to wait on Evangelist Mark, and there's some interesting things that I really want to share with you about because there's so much that has taken place. And yesterday was another landmark day for one of those major steps, I would say, that we are moving into. Now, you're talking about ministry, and we're talking about being able to, to reach millions of people with the gospel. We're talking about not just going to do something for a one-time situation, but we're talking about the spreading of the gospel of Christ to millions of people who have not yet heard. Now, I want to say this. That when we went to Liberia, we planted a ministry in a place where there were, at the present, no church. And so what came out of that was this young evangelist and a few others that had a love for God and a zeal to work. And so out of that initial entrance, God has selected various ones, and he has given us a vision to reach the nation and the nations around it. And so I want to say to those of you that are watching the broadcast, I talk about what the ministry, one of the primary focus of the ministry is to get the gospel out and to help the starving, the hurting, the poor, and the needy people in Africa and other nations. As some of you well know, that we have families and ministries in Uganda. We have some in Pakistan, in India, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Gambia, Morocco, uh, the Sub-Sahara Desert, Libya, Egypt, Algeria. These are nations in which we are reaching into by internet and with people on the ground. That is the seed. That is the seed of evangelism. And it's through these seeds, that is in these locations, that evangelism will explode. And so we're grateful that we're able to go into these nations. Now I'm still waiting on Evangelist Mark, and so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna see if I can get him back on the set. We're having some difficulty bringing him in, and I think it may be the link that he's having a problem with. So we're going to keep trying this because we know how it is, and I have been there in Africa, and I know getting online is a challenge in many cases. But now we're thankful that we have an internet connectivity unit. I bought that unit when I was there and for this purpose. So we know we have the fundamental foundation in the equipment that is necessary to conduct our broadcast. And on yesterday, we went and got the necessary data that we needed for the unit in Liberia. And so now we know that we have the technical ability with the hardware to do our online broadcast. And so we're just now trying to get them to connect to the link that I am on, and hopefully that he have the right link. And I'm gonna try to just send another link. I think that is the best way to go. So I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna send this link and have him try this link, because that may be what his holdup is. Sometimes we need to regenerate another link. So we're excited about what God is doing, because we have a scriptural foundation for which we have the confidence that this is evangelism that will literally explode in the nations around the world. You know, God has strategically selected the nations, and he has strategically selected the individuals and connected us with those individuals. And although when you hear us at times, you hear us asking for help for the food and the clean water, for the education of the boys and girls, and medical assistance for the sick and frail. When you hear us asking for financial support, and you can easily limit that support and focus on just those factors. But I want you to know that's just the entrance to stabilize, nurture the seeds that God has selected, through which he is going to reach out and evangelize hundreds of thousands and millions of people. And so we are so thankful for this. And one of the things that you're going to hear me talk about is the how Philip was used of God to go and join himself to the chariot and evangelize one man. And that one man is the one that God used to evangelize the continent of Africa. And it's because of that service we have sons of God all over the nation of the continent of Africa today. It is because of that one man that was on that chariot. You could trace the explosion of the gospel all the way back to that one man that was on that chariot. And so it just really encourages us when God connects us to people that have a hunger for him in these different countries, because we know that that's a seed of evangelism, and we know that God is working, and all we have to do is allow him to use us for his glory. So we're going to continue to do that, and as I said, we are so thankful that we have this opportunity. So I hope that you will see the work that God is doing, and that you will be a part of the work. And while we're still trying to get Evangelist Mark on, there is a link and on the screen, and you could visit this website. And if you're in the United States and Canada and some of the other nations, this accelerated fuel tabs link that you see on your screen will help us. It will help us help the poor and needy. It will help us take the gospel into the nations of the world. So I've sent him the link, and he's telling me what he sees, but he needs to click on the link. So let me just share with him again. Click. So we're going to try to get Evangelist Mark on. What we're going to do in the coming broadcast, we're going to get the parties on before we go live, hopefully, if that's possible. Because this is supposed to be, in fact, the easiest software to get on. The only thing that one should have to do, whether you got the software on your device or not, the only thing you should have to do is click the link that I send you, and it brings you right into this studio platform. So this is not difficult for us in comparison to the other software platforms. However, when someone doesn't know something and they're not used to it, what seems to be so petty to us can be a monster of difficulty for others who don't know. So when we're going to minister to people in third world countries, that's one of the things you have to carry your patience to the fullest, because otherwise you'll get so discouraged. Sometimes when you're doing your broadcast, in these countries, your internet will lose connection, and when it does, you can easily get discouraged and say, "Well, we're not going to do that." But you have to pack your patience because, these are the realities of conducting ministry in those rural areas that are underdeveloped, and they do everything in their power to get access to ministry. And so we that have such an abundance of ministry, we have to be patient. We have to not judge people by our standards here in America. We have to be instrumental in helping them improve their standards. And so that just means being patient. And sometimes you don't make the connection. Sometimes you don't have the understanding of what you need to do. So we are just going to allow ourselves to try to navigate through this as much as we can, so that we can, hopefully bring the parties on board. But you have to be patient, and there's a scripture says, "Be patient toward all men," and that's really not, that's talking about in a whole array of things. But what we want to say of that is that when you're doing something for the glory of God and you're doing ministry, patience is one of the ingredients that all of us have to operate in if we're going to be acceptable or pleasing to God. So we're working on this, and I have him on my cell, but I want to bring him on our screen because he should be able to come live on the screen. And I've had Evangelist Mark on this same platform, even before we went to Africa. So I know that the platform is good, but it's just there's something going on with his understanding of what he needs to do to sign in. So we're going to attempt to reach him again, and hopefully that we'll get him on board. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to log out and log back in. Well, and no, I don't need to do that. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. I'm going to cancel that because I'm going to eventually have to start over, and so that I could get a good start of the update. So let me just try to do this. We're doing this in real time. I mean, I've got Evangelist Mark on my cell phone through Messenger, and I'm trying to bring him right on the screen here because that's the platform that we're on, and it would give you an opportunity to hear him much better, and it would give you an opportunity to see him as well. And so we're trying to bring him on the screen. And I know that if he clicked this link where it says add guest, and that's the link that I've sent him, then he should be able to come on. I'm going to ask him, what is it doing now? You have a lot of these times. When I was there in Africa, there was a lot of times that we had to work through this, and but it should it. I sent him the link on this, and it actually showing me the link, and he's got it because he sent it back to me. And if I click on that link, then it's going to take me to the site. So I'm wondering why when he clicks on it, it doesn't take him to this platform. Because when I click on it, it brings me to the platform. So there's something that is, oh, he was already on it. Okay, it says, okay, see, now he was already on it, and he didn't know he was on it because I'm looking at him right here on it now. So let me just say to him that it's asking me. Let me see if it's going to bring him on. No, I'm not sharing that right now. So we're going to try to go back. Let me just, I'm going to get him back on. We're going to close this broadcast out because we've got, and then we're going to come back. Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir. I'm there, but I keep trying. I can't get it.
Well, you were on it when you called me. The first time you did it, it was on it because when I looked at the screen, you were in the broadcast.
I was not hearing you.
But that's okay. But you were on the broadcast. The only thing you have to do is click that link, and the picture that you sent me was a picture of you inside the studio. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna sign off, and I'm gonna sign back on, and I'm gonna send you another link because we need to start this one over. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out, and then I'm gonna send you another link to sign on, and you got to click that link. And when you click that link, it should be registering. If you if you see yourself in the window of the broadcast picture, because when you sent me that last picture, I went back and that other picture, I went back and looked at it. It had you inside with the melon broadcast. Okay, so let's go back. Let's just sign off, and I'm going to do it again. So we're going to sign off, Saints, and we're just going to end this broadcast right here. And we don't want to